When you are doing the algebra test 1, be mindful of doing the multiplications. Always remember S and L. Okay, write down the notes. S stands for the sign, whether it's positive or negative. N stands for your numbers. And L stands for a letter. So when you are doing this question, be mindful that you are supposed to deal with the number first. So you deal with the 3. So eventually your answer will be 3x cubed times x squared. So it's x to the power of 5 and y cubed. Likewise, when you are doing the divisions, if you have x squared over x3, so you have x, 2x at the top and 3x at the bottom. So when you divide each of them by an x is a 1, same thing here. So your leftover is 1 out of x. So you realize that here is the power of 1 comes from 3 minus 2. So likewise, when I have x to the power of 3 over x squared, I got more x at the top. So your leftover will be staying at the numerator. So your leftover is x. So this way you will not have any problems dealing with the negative power. Now, second thing is when you are doing this paper, take note what is the meaning of a multiple. Write this down. Multiple is the same as factor of 3. So when you are doing this kind of expansion, I strongly encourage you to use the formula, which is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And if it's a plus b squared, it will be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So when you are expanding this, you make sure you are able to factorize this, which explains how you get a multiple of 3. Now when you are doing question 2, also be mindful that when you are subtracting more than one term, you must add a bracket. So what does this mean? So when you add this, remember this is more than one term, you must add a bracket before you continue. So you add a bracket. As long the body, the head or the body is more than one term or bigger head, you must bandage it with a bracket. Okay, so this one has a big head, so therefore you have to add a bracket. And this is also having a big head, so therefore you also add a bracket. Then make sure that you have the same denominator. So make sure that do you have a big head or body, then you need to add a bracket. Then you make sure you have the same denominator. Then bring the numerator together before you simplify. So let's look at this part A now. You must make sure you have the same denominator. So I times 2. So I will have times 2 here, times 2. And then I bring them together. Bring the numerator together. Do not expand. Do not remove bracket. You bring them together first. After that, then you start to expand. And be mindful of the sign. Minus and minus is a plus 3. And then you simplify further. Okay, same thing for number B. You have a big body here. Big body. So you add your own bracket. Then the rest is the same. Okay, so this is a few things you need to take note of. And for this question here, because you include 3 terms and the highest power is a 2, so you have to factorize this using the box method. And for part E, you realize that the denominator is the same except the sign has been reversed. So x becomes negative x, negative 2 becomes 2. So I need to change sign. How do I change sign? If you have forgotten, refer to this now. X minus 2, you change sign, means that minus will becomes plus. 3 over 2 minus x becomes x minus 2, just reverse sign. And your answer will be 3 plus x over x minus 2. Same thing for number f, you also need to factorize. And bear in mind, a squared minus b squared is this formula. So you have to change this factorized. Do not combine them. So you will have 2 minus x and 2 plus x. And you realize that over here, you have the same denominator, this part. But remember, because it's a big head, can you add your own bracket? Then the rest is history. So do the same thing for number G. After you have done that, please remember to do self-marking to make sure they're done correctly. If let's say there's any mistakes, not to worry, you can refer to your lower set notes, or when school reopens, I will review this answer with you. So happy learning for your test number 1. All the best for the test.